ikar mu karangeji atie kila cho mano charro ngam mako kene la bogo report bot an kilutino me ario wakaka be no pingeo en ka charro ngam mar chena mara.
The key issues being dealt with at that point were people going back home to deal with the questions of land, to deal with the questions of human rights, to deal with the questions of access to water, education, infrastructure. As people returned home, there was nothing like that in place. And so this project came in when Panos met Open Society to try and have a relationship with radio stations that could facilitate community dialogue around the challenges being faced by people who are returning home from camps after literally 20 years of being in camps. But most importantly, you see, when people went to camps, the gender paradigms shifted. Women actually became the focal points for the survival of their families. A lot of men lost their dominance and their positions in terms of providing for their families. So the women took over that role. And as people went home, you had a question of domestic violence because men felt challenged and they wanted to regain their relevance in terms of being the heads of the family. But then the women had literally taken that role over, I think, out of necessity, not because of any grand design, but circumstances dictated that the women would, in the camps, they provided more food. They were there for the children. They literally made that sure that the family had a bit of sanity.
From the time of the war, we as women of northern Uganda, we were experiencing different forms of human rights violations. Right away when we were in the camps, the women had serious violations of their rights in terms of their own husbands violating their rights, men raping the children, you see. So there are a lot of issues around human rights violations. And we've also been challenged with a number of issues around poverty, where women really cannot support their households in terms of food, in terms of other domestic needs. That was from the time of the war. Now, when we come out of the camps and of the war situation, we see ourselves still really faced with a lot of challenges. When you look at a woman in the camp without food, without land to cultivate, and now a woman in the home with a vast land, she can cultivate, yes, but the kind of experience that women are in still needs a lot of attention, because a woman has come out of the war situation, but another war is again beginning.
In northern Uganda, OSIEA is working with women who are organizing themselves to collect the pieces left behind after decades of war. So in Kalongo, there's a group that meets once a week under a mango tree that discusses their village savings and loan fund. In Bologna, there's a group of elderly women, and they employ their mourning traditions to make demands from the government. And volunteers are out equipping their communities with awareness and following up on crimes. There's high rates of sexual violence in northern Uganda. And we at OSIEA continue to be a partner in this monumental task.
Contribute to the sustainable peace building through and facilitating empowerment of community structures and systems so that the communities are able to protect their rights, they're able to engage in preventative measures, they're able to demand for accountability, demand for good governance, and at the same time, since we are in a post-conflict recovery phase, the communities are able to enhance their livelihood security. And basically, at the moment, we are working on 5 thematic areas. We have strengthening structures and systems for social protection. And with social protection, we are basically looking at the issues of women, sexual gender-based violence, and the issues of children, child protection. We twin that up with the issue of access to justice.
The training is that men should also be actually know. They should also know things that fighting in the group, fighting a woman is very bad. or owning properties by a man alone is bad. So they should go and tell other people, as I used to say, as I told before, that they should go and tell men that it's not possible for a man to own properties alone.
Dongi kenyu karma wandu donyi group ene. Iber kami yang bapuny. Ipuny ino ni dong. Wan niang katien puny mabe ni nywako tamir betie. Ci wa kero emping kilo tino. Ci kubiri chiari mana loke. Lok me chato ngam. Kubiri wa char moti achiel. Ma wa biro dong piny kachiel. Ilokom wil chiene. Kilo tino kien kachiel. Kio wil ngam. Madung da weng. Dong tie ma agonya. Ma puonyen ni. Okonyo wa matek. Oweko kubiri wiwa dong ngewa dong wa ngewa piny. Pien kar ma chon no ngar ma ngeo piny pe. La cho char men ngam mara en kubiri loka dong tie ma dir.